Hey everyone, welcome to Hunters Connect. Today we're going to show you how to process a duck. There are many ways to prepare a duck, and the most common ways are breasting out. And when we say breasting, we refer to removing the breast meat as well as the thighs. The other way is plucking, which you'll see in a future video. If you've watched any of our other videos on processing birds, be it a grouse or a turkey, this may seem familiar. To get started, we're going to feel down the middle, locate that breastbone that runs right down the sternum, and we're going to pull away a few feathers just to get access to the skin of that duck. Now that we've got access to the meat, we're just going to get our pointer fingers between the meat and the skin and start pulling away. It should separate, especially if it's a freshly killed bird, should separate super easy. You're just going to give yourself some space to work. As you peel back on this lower part, you'll start to see where the thighs start. And we'll get to the thighs after we get these breasts removed. Once you have the bird's breast meat exposed, you're going to just find that breastbone, that sternum piece that runs up and down, and you're going to just make a small incision along the edge of that bone. And from there, you're just going to slowly, kind of patiently work your way down that breast meat. From there, that breastbone kind of flares out and that meat sits almost like it's in a cup. So you're going to take that knife and just follow around the edge. And the rest of the meat on there, it's almost like you can really peel it off. It shouldn't take much cutting. Once you get up by the wing, you're just going to kind of slowly feel around with that knife, and that breast should come off super clean. Now that we got that first piece of meat out, we're just going to go to the other side of the breast meat, repeat that process before we move on to the thighs. So just like before, we made that incision along the breastbone. We're going to go down to the bottom where that membrane is holding on. Just small little strokes. Start pulling the rest of that breast meat up off the breastbone. And we get to the top. Cut around where that wing wants to attach. And there's your second piece of breast meat. You'll see this little piece dangling off here. Sometimes it just comes off, but this is sometimes referred to as the tenderloin of the duck. But if it comes off, you didn't make a mistake. Sometimes it just happens. Now we got the breast meat out. We're halfway through the process. Up next are the thighs. And if you look, you fold this skin away, you can actually see that thigh meat hugging up against where the breast meat came out of. So a great way to get started is to hold this skin, grab the lower portion of the leg, and with the other hand, grab the skin and push that thigh up through. It'll help peel away that skin from the leg. On the bottom side of the leg, you can take your finger and help just to separate that. And really, you could poke through with your finger like that and just pull it apart. Now that thigh is exposed. If you just go all the way around, that leg's almost completely separated. So now, just like we did with the grouse video or with the turkey, just going to trim that away. And what you want to do is just push that thigh down. That'll separate it from the leg joint or the hip joint. And you can trim along the body cavity. And once you remove that from the cavity, You're going to just have a little bit of membrane attached to the skin, and you can just slowly cut that away. And you got a duck thigh. Just like before, we're going to switch to the other side and repeat that process over again. We're going to push that thigh up from the leg, try to separate that from that main skin. Finger push through, so we're just going to peel that away. Expose the top side of that thigh. Got a nice little pile of feathers forming. And then similarly on the bottom, try to poke that finger through. Just like before, we're going to push that thigh down, try to get it out of that hip joint. We'll take our knife, follow along the cavity, along where the joint was. And then just take that knife real carefully and separate that thigh from the rest of the skin. So this one came off with a little more skin than I wanted. So if I can get these feathers off my finger, I'm just going to take that knife and just cut that away. So there you have it. We've got 2 thighs, 2 breasts, and a processed duck. I hope you learned something from this video and you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching Hunters Connect.